Top of the morning, y'all. Top of the top. Peace and blessings, everybody out there, man. I was watching something this morning. See what I'm saying? I'm watching something about let me put on that one. Yeah, shit. So I was watching something on Kevin Samuels, but I ain't gonna take too long. I'm gonna put a little bit in there so you can see. And I thought what he said was real interesting. I thought it was real. You know what I mean? It had some truth in it. You see what I'm saying? I'm always learning different things. That's what I do when I wake up in the morning. I'm trying to feed my brain, right? So I was like learning about like Amazonian women, learning like how they used to fight for men and shit like that. They had to fight for men to choose a man and shit like different things. You know, by me looking up all that stuff, I bumped into this one. You know what I mean? Yeah, I thought what he was saying was real interesting and shit like that. He got some points and shit like that. You know what I mean? Only thing about it, he be really making himself look right based on the females he have up there, because he be having a lot of females. I say he be trying to pick the female that's pretty but not really that intelligent. And I mean, he can't fucking just choose that shit. You know what I mean? I'm just saying, like, it makes this shit look valid when nobody is smart enough to when you ain't got nobody on the panel that's a female that really know how to, you know what I mean? So it's gonna make yourself look right. You know what I mean? But I'll let y'all watch this shit. I ain't gonna keep talking.
Most men are going to tolerate it. No. Understand what I mean. There's only one way to keep score with what men do by who they get. All men will have sex with all of them. They'll tolerate all of it. They'll smash. But white people, most men will be like, because what can a man do about a situation that's outside of his control? If you're already coming into it with, let's be honest. Let's just have a real conversation. When you were little girls, okay, especially when you start to bloom and develop, what are the things you were told by adults about boys?
Be careful. Be careful around the little boys that they were. Be careful of older men.
And then what were you talking about? What were you talking boys and men are supposed to be? Okay. So men are either a utility or something to be feared. You only look at us in terms of our usefulness to you.
Hey, yo, I want to say something about that, what he just said, right? I'm going to take it off screen because I don't want to be holding it too long. That's the new generation. He's an older guy speaking on how he's looking at this generation compared to the old generation. If he was 25, he wouldn't be talking like that because he would have nothing to compare. He wouldn't compare. What the fuck he gonna compare to? He's young. His whole generation wasn't shit when it comes to men and women. But if you lived in the 60s, 70s, and 80s, like that, you've seen the difference of women then and women now. Men then, men now. Jobs then, jobs now. Murders then, murders now. Crimes then, crimes. So he's seeing it. So he's using his experience to really question the newer day age mental, because he knows the newer day and the older day. We only know the new day. Only time we see the older day is on TV. So that's why I'd be really intrigued about, like, what he be saying. Because he's showing you a different, you know what I mean?
I feel like it's a society has it set up to where it's like both of people, they both feel entitled like that.
No, we don't. Men are told very clear what we're supposed to do for y'all. We're told very clear we're supposed to protect, provide, provide, please, all these things. When I ask what are women supposed to do for men, this conversation shows y'all haven't put a lot of thought into who we are, what we want, or what you're supposed to do for us. So when I ask about a man, it comes back to what you want. That's the way it's been set up. And which is funny is because the very people that are being tailored to and catered to sound like you're oppressed. And the very people who are on the other side trying to figure out what's going on are the ones that, would you say that most women have empathy for men today? Would you want to raise a son and put him out in the world like that with women who thought, if women took a snapshot of the things you hear, not necessarily this at this table, but the snapshot of things you hear, would you want your son to be out there? Okay.
But at the end of the day, what I like I said, I want to keep, because I don't want them to be like pause about shit. You know what I mean? I don't think those women on the table care about how their son would deal with women. I think they only care about how they're getting treated by men. I don't think those women give a fuck how what their son pick. I don't really think. I think, look, man, that's his choice. But I think they're more focused on what the fuck I get. Like if I raise him right, he'll make the best choice. You see what I'm saying? They only give a fuck. As long as a man treat me right, I don't give a fuck how women treat him. Because the way the world look at a man is the same way women's gonna look at their sons. So nah, you ain't gonna put that man in that big ass bubble like that.
All right, now we're getting somewhere. And how do we change that? I don't think anybody's a bad person. I just think that we don't have these conversations. We know how to have sex and we know how to argue. But when I often ask women, think about your brothers or your sons, what would you want them to feel out there? And you think about how would you want him to be out there, and how do we change that? Because what men in your life do you respect their opinion enough to change what you do?
My brothers.
Okay, that's a very small group.
Yeah. Me, it's
Anybody?
A lot of influencers, like Richards, like the law of attraction, teams and stuff, but it depends. So
What men do you listen to in your actual day-to-day life that you respect enough to change what you do?
The men that I potentially want to do, I like to get feedback from guys that I'm talking to, thinking about dating or dating, and sometimes I kind of self-evaluate because I like to know.
So somebody you're dating.
To put it simply, anyone who I feel has my best interest at heart.
Would you say these pools are very large?
No.
Okay, so if we just use it as a sample size, women don't tend to listen to men. All right, and if women as a group have little empathy for men, how does it change? If you're not listening to men in general, if you don't listen to very small groups of men, how do you guys change?
Do I want to change? I'm sorry, I'm being funny.
Ain't no being funny about it. Why the fuck she being funny for? You know what? Again, they're the new generation. As long as they look good, got some money in their account, you know what I mean? A man's supposed to bow down. The new generation is women has become so valuable due to job, financial, voice, whatever. It's like they overtop the man to the point where men don't have a value anymore. So when you ask women, name some things that men are good for without like when he asked these women, I'm gonna get to it, what are men good for without putting a woman involved? They couldn't really answer. Because in their mind, a woman is more powerful than a man today. You know what I mean? Today and age. Like, you know what I mean? And that's today and age. It's weird because when he was like, and I see it, but it's when he was saying it's the reason why you can't walk down the street in certain places and get beat up is because of a man's security, not because of women's security. It's a reason why a lot of shit won't happen because they know a man gonna run in that shit and tear it up, not because a whole bunch of women gonna come in here and tear it up. You don't want to go to war with no man. A lot of niggas go to war with women, though. So I don't understand it, though. But it's different today because society has given the information, has given the power to women to feel as though with all this information and money, I really don't need you, nigga. And it's like, damn, word. Don't put my shit on. Don't put my shit up like that big ass. Put this shit on a little bubble.
Nah, I mean, it's a.
No, I've never.
Would you want the world to change for your son, or would you want him to be in this?
The world to change?
Would you want your son to be trying to find a mate in this environment?
Yeah, I can't change the world.
That's not the question. Would you want to send your son out? Would you want your son? You want the best interest for your son. You want to send your son. So you can't change the world. So you're just gonna send him to whatever school, whatever situation.
No, I'm not. Like, I mean, that's very circumstantial.
No, it's very deliberative. It's very deliberative.
Of course, I'm not
So we-
sending the child out into the world. Like, you know,
But the world is this. So we will send them to the best schools or the best churches and then this and that. But then when the very important thing of mating and relationships are, the answer is y'all gotta have these conversations amongst yourself to work out your issue. That's what it comes down to, because you don't even listen to us. But bottom line is, here's the ugly reality. You need us. Whether you want to admit it or not, you need us.
I listen to the guys that they get, what they say, what they want.
But it has to be more than just the guys you date. Because many women will say, I respect my man, I'll cater to my man, I'll submit to my man, I'll be cooperative with my man. But then you give the rest of the men the public health advocates. And it's the rest of the men who provide the security, the safety, the infrastructure, everything else that you need. The reason the world is as safe as it is today, and you can walk through Miami in heels and skirts and not worry about being booped over the head, because you got security. What do men in this country, in this world do that's good, that has nothing to do with money?
Now, real shit, right? What's the word? Real shit, right? That's real shit, man. Real shit, yo. The thing that is interesting is when you hear women give men respect, you don't hear a big list of it. But when you hear a list of what men supposed to do for women, it's a fucking huge list. It ain't equal. See what I'm saying? Knowing that men has a higher position. See, this is where we live in now. We live in a world men and women are equal. That's some bullshit. I don't know who the fuck told you that. But due to the system, due to, like, imagine men back in slavery that was getting hung and getting beat up by the white man or by the system in those times. Women look down on them for letting them beat them up. Yo, you ain't strong, nigga. You strong, you won't let them beat you up like that. Imagine if they look down on us for, like, not being able to, like, you know what I mean? For letting them hang us and shit like that. Oh, nigga, I don't want to be with you. And they start fucking with the white boys because they was doing, imagine that. Even though we was being put in situation, females still stood by us, even though we wasn't in the best situation, because we was all in the same situation. It's divided now. It ain't the same. We're all in the same situation, but our bank account look different, if you dig what I'm saying. So I guess that divided us. Our bank accounts. You got more money than I am, and you still deal with depression. You still deal with these things. You still deal with this. You still deal with police brutality. Your nephew just got killed from gang violence. So we still deal with the same shit. Only difference is your bank account. But we're still all in this shit together. But it's like racism against each other inside of each other camps. It's like that Willie Lynch, but they went deep with that shit. from just light skin versus dark skin. Now it's like women versus men for the black community. I don't hear those women versus men in the white community, Chinese community, Indian community. It's always men versus women on black community. It's always something with us when it comes to falling in line with anything. We're the most rebellious motherfuckers. But it's funny, we can be in line when it comes to slavery, though, wasn't it? When it comes to slavery, we can stay in line and we can pull up bricks. But when it comes to each other, we don't listen for shit. But when it comes to staying in line for the system, oh, we'll put up the best motherfucking, yeah, like Precious. When she had to hold that baby to get that check, soon that lady was going, she threw that baby down. That's the same way we do with the system. We'll bow down to the fucking system, but we won't bow down to our people. We're the only culture like that. The only motherfucking culture. You know why I think like that? Because a lot of our cultures is incohetes with other things. So you don't even know who the fuck you are. You don't know who you are. At least when you know who you are, you already know what role to play. But nowadays, we don't know who the fuck we are. We everybody. So when I see this new generation, they have the outside, but they don't have the inside. That's what makes it look weird. Let me go to my joint. I know I can't blow it up too big because I don't want to be on my shit. And I always stop it because last time they hit me for my shit.
I'll get to you in a minute.
What are men good for without putting women involved? That's what he asking them.
I feel like men have provided a lot of, because I love a manly man. I love the essence of a man, you know. So I feel like men have provided, but that doesn't have nothing to do with women. This sounds weird, but like infrastructure or like a lot of like, I feel like of how a lot
This
of
motherfucker said we just
things
good at
get
building.
taken care of.
Infrastructure and shit.
And it doesn't mean with just women. And I
Is
mean
it?
with like every situation.
Okay, what else?
Just some builders and shit. Legos and shit.
It don't have nothing to do with women.
That don't have nothing to do with what? Shit.
I feel everything has to do with women.
That's what I'm saying, yo. This shit different.
Building,
Protecting who? Huh? Yeah, women and children.
and also for the family.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Building over there, protecting. We don't protect each other. So what do we protect? So buildings anyway. What's up? What else? Anything?
We do that's good. That does not have to do with women.
See, the thing about it, these women, they love men, they just don't know them. So they love men, but they just don't know them. So they don't know how to respect them or how to treat them. But they love men because they was taught to. Or not even taught to, because they still, whatever.
They do a lot of things that's good, but I think that
So if there's a lot, name three.
three seeds, three good things.
Yeah, you said lead. Go ahead, there's a lot. Pick three.
When you say good,
No. You already you said a lot, so I should have to define. Okay, men are great. They do a lot of good things. They do three things. You said
they
football.
grow up in me.
Okay, you said football.
Football, also, what has to do with football, I think being a leader for other men, like guiding other younger men down a better path. Yeah.
But that still got to do with.
That's fucked up how they look at us, yo. Word up. I'm
So I want to be
telling
clear. I want to be clear. Infrastructure, building. What
you.
did you say? Leading and cutting hair in football. Now, I want you to imagine all the millions of men who are going to hear this. And I want you to think about, this is the considered opinion of 4 women who would consider themselves to be nice, reasonable, level-minded. This is as much as you thought about what is good about us as men. That has nothing to do with you. What I'm trying to show you is, for you ladies, for so many women to say this is a man's world, it's a patriarchy, women is oppressed and this and that. You look at us as utilities or something to be feared, and you look at us as what we can do for you, not what we are. Men have built, men created, men invent. There's philosophy. We've civilized the world in general. We're not hunter-gatherers anymore. We've eradicated disease. We've done a lot of different things. Even if you talk about that has nothing to do with women. And see, the thing is, you think more about yourself. That's okay. You think about it though. You say how great men are, and they do so much. And if a man will say, "Shorty, you the best, you the bomb, you this, you that," you great, you wonderful. Tell me 3 things you like about me. Your baby hair. I mean, something is cutting hair.
No, you said 3 things you like about me. If I had a man in front of me,
My point is,
he does good, I can make him adopt that.
Exactly, but that individual, but man, see, and I want you
Men
to
are
think
bigger
about
than
it.
just
Think
one
of how you
individual.
think about the global image of men, but then if you asking men to put women on such a high pedestal, you're the mothers of this, you do that, you do this. We're supposed to almost deify you. But you don't think about men as what we're good at or what we do well, except what it has to do. You said the truth. Basically, football.
Football is great at football.
But football, but of all the things, but my point is, of all the things, I ask you to think about your brothers and your sons and these kind of things in the future. Of all the things that men are, we are more than football, cutting hair. I mean, there's a lot, and the thing is, but leading who? Most women today don't even want to be led by a man because it's oppressive. Well, that's the point, because you're talking about leading. Men don't have any problem with leadership. We have a hierarchy. This is why in the military there's very little. Well, I'm not gonna say very little issue. Men sort ourselves into orders and hierarchies very well. I want you guys, here's the sign. There's a show on Amazon Prime called Bear Grylls, Grylls, show they call The Island. He takes a group of men and a group of women, sets them on deserted islands for 6 weeks with bare essentials, and they gotta survive. I want you to watch the difference between how men and how women without technology survive. You'll see by week 5, women were bickering, they don't want to be led.
Yeah, I see that.
Shit like, by week 5, men damn near created the Eiffel Tower. Because we know that we have to sort ourselves, and there is order, and somebody has to lead, and it's not all about our feelings, it's about getting stuff done. And we are forgotten. And women today, I think it's fair to say, women have forgotten what men are, what make us great, other than the fact of what we can do for you. It's not an indictment to you. It's the fact that we have issues in this world, and my point is, it doesn't get better until women start becoming aware of what's going on, how you were raised, how you were taught. All you guys are under 30. You didn't come to a lot of this stuff on your own. A lot of this stuff was taught, media, the school, the culture. But now at least you're aware of it. And if you want to have anything different with a man in your life, you're going to have to become more aware of what the kind of men you want, because men are basically very similar. You know, men in general, they want cooperation. There's a whole thing, sex, sandwich, silence, but cooperation is really what men want.
Do you feel like it's cooperation? Okay, because I understand cooperation.
Yeah, but really get mad.
Two people, let's just say it's not like a relationship. When you're doing anything and there's more than one person, you need to cooperate to get whatever done, right?
Mm-hmm.
So where does it come in to where like men feel like they don't know how to cooperate, they know how to tell you what to do. So it's not so much a cooperation anymore. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like.
Well, first of all, again, these are the men you pick.
Oh, I know. When I say that, it's circumstantial.
Well, these are the
men.
men you pick. So that's number one. Number two, like it or not, if you and a man have a child, little junior, your instincts may be to go left. His are going to be to go right. You can't pull DNA rank on him. Who and which direction do you go? Who do you listen to? The mother or the father? Because you can't do both. A decision has to be made.
So you're asking me if the kid, who does the kid listen to?
No, you're the mother, he's the father. The decision has to be made about the child. You say left, he says right. You can't do both. Which direction?
Yeah, I liked that one, man. Yeah, man, but he be saying some good stuff on there, yo. Like, I don't know why the fuck I be watching that shit. Like I need to learn and shit like that, but he be having some good information. I just like to hear people's minds, you know what I mean? Very very different. You know what I mean? But I ain't gonna be here long. I just came up here just to show y'all something about the reaction. Peace and blessings, man. Thank y'all for coming through. Love y'all, man. Stay safe, man. Happy New Year's too, man.